Hello again, everyone. Saka here, and welcome back to another episode of NASCAR Racing 2003 season with the 2019 mod and the 2020 car set. We are here at the D-shaped oval of Michigan, and on the pole to our left, or at least he will be shortly, in that wreckingandracing.com podcast, Toyota, is Brandon, as per usual. If you're a NASCAR fan looking for a brand new podcast to listen to, check out wreckingandracing.com or send an email to wreckingandracing@gmail.com and tell them that Saka sent you. But we are ready for 20 laps here at Michigan, and fuel, we have 17 laps in the tank. So once we get past lap 3, we will be within a fuel window. Tires are another story. We can do 2 tires or 4 depending on strategy, but let's get this race underway. Green flag is out, and we were a little late on the gas. Brandon really put the hammer down. Kyle Busch will get around us, and William Byron as well. 3 wide behind us as Matt Kenseth, Alex Bowman, and Denny Hamlin go 3 wide, and you can do that on the initial start, and it is nutso. Going into turn 1, car is kind of loose, and you can see the rear end step out right there. We have to walk the dog on up the banking, but we are clear of Kenseth. Got that shot down the straightaway, but William Byron tries to make a quick work of Kyle Busch going into turn 3. So Brandon clear. We're running in 4th, and let's see who is faster, Byron or Busch, coming off of turn 4. We can try to split the middle, go up with Kyle, and Kyle is going to get that big pull down the straightaway. He moves down a bit. Brandon moves down to block just a tad, but we'll play it safe going into turn 1. Certainly no need to force 3 wide on lap 2 of 20. We're only 10% through this race as of now. Kyle does get clear of William Byron. We will do the crossover move and get under him down the back straightaway, and Kyle has a great pull off of Brandon. And Michigan and California, I mean, the draft is key. Getting off the corner, if you are behind someone, you get a ton of speed down the front straightaway, and Brandon giving Kyle everything he can handle, moves to block. That was close. It's a reminiscent of the California race with Tony Stewart and Joey Logano blocking down into turn 1 after a restart. But Kyle looking under Brandon. William Byron took a peek to the outside of us, but we get the power down. Good run for Matt Kenseth up there. If he gets the win, he will be given the playoff spot, considering he has that waiver. But still plenty of time left to go in this race, and Brandon showing a commanding lead thus far. We can get that pull off of him and under Kyle Busch. We can't move up quite yet. There we go, but Brandon into the wall, scuffs it just a bit. Down to the apron, though. The apron is fair game. We can use it as much as we want, and Kyle Busch going to put Brandon 2 wide. William Byron looking to go 3 wide. Brandon drops back to 4th, letting those guys go. And they check up a bit there in the middle of the corner. Brandon has to take evasive action. Car breaks free really bad, and he drops back to Kenseth and among that lead pack. So Brandon has some fighting to do. Kyle looked to our inside. We gave him the bottom, but he rolled out of it. We drove in just a bit too hard. Kyle got the power down. Let's see if we can get William Byron to help us out on the high lane. We got to have turn 4 just a little bit better. And if we can keep those guys side by side behind us and try to play the draft, we can try to slow them all 3 down. Kenseth goes to the bottom looking 3 wide. Denny Hamlin tries to help out Kenseth on the bottom. That's going to choke those guys up really, really well. They're going to lose a ton of time, and we can open that up a bit. Looked like Brandon down there to the white line making a bonsai move, trying to get around Matt Kenseth. I don't know if he completed that pass or not, but he's there on the bottom, 3 wide under Kenseth. And Brandon slides up into, looks like 4th place behind William Byron and Kyle Busch, so he's getting those spots back that he lost on that initial wiggle. And one thing that I have to be extremely mindful of is if Kyle and William Byron get that massive pull down the straightaway, turn 1 may get a little bit hairy. And looking in the mirror, everyone is still pretty much single file, nose to tail, so no one can get away from anyone. Everyone is very even in this race, making it difficult to pass for sure. It might breed a caution, though. The more people run side by side, the greater chance that something bad can happen. If the yellow were to come out now, we would be within a window, and we would have to make the decision whether or not we wanted to take 2 or 4 tires. We only need 1 can of gas, and that is essentially just right side tires as far as time is concerned. Do we use our left sides up? Do we abuse them? I guess we will go a bit further into this run and make that decision when the time comes. I'm thinking 2 tires for now, but 4 tires might prove fruitful if we abuse them. I'll try to take care of them as best I can here. William Byron looking to pass Kyle Busch. It looks like he's actually running in 4th. Is that Brandon in 3rd? Possibly. I see him sort of off kilter. One of the things that these guys do, especially Kyle and Williams so far this race, is get a massive run off of turn 4 down the entire length of the straightaway, and you can see it there. William Byron closed that gap just a bit. Now, William does have a win from the Daytona 500, so he isn't out of playoff contention by any means. Looking really strong, trying to get 5 extra bonus points for a 2nd win. We'll be going for our 7th win today. Brandon going for his 5th, which is more bonus points in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd rounds of the playoffs. William getting a massive run all by himself. That is crazy, the amount of pull he got down that straightaway. So we'll have to look in the mirror a little bit more closely now as we drive to see if William Byron tries to make a move to our inside, because these guys are pretty aggressive today. Don't know what got in their Cheerios this morning, but they aren't afraid to put their nose in where it doesn't belong this particular week, that is for sure. So pretty solid run. We're nearing the halfway mark, and if the yellow does not come out, I'm thinking lap 10 or 11 is a good stopping point. We can get on pit road by ourselves, have a nice clean entry and exit, and sort of force their hand to come down pit road since we are going to have fresh tires and making up the time a little bit quicker than they are. However, at Michigan, I don't think we have as a dramatic fall off as, say, Darlington, where all 4 tires get worn and you lose a 2nd to a 1.5 seconds by the end of a tire run. So 2 tires is the call as of now. Looking for anyone coming to pit road trying to get the jump on us. So far, no takers. William Byron still in that draft. Looks like the AI tried to move down to the bottom and do sort of a snake move down the straightaway instead of hanging up right by the wall. That's giving Brandon a lot of competition back there. I see Kyle Busch right back there and possibly Denny Hamlin behind him. But Brandon making gains on William Byron, it seems. If Brandon can clear William Byron, perhaps he can slow down Byron a bit, help our pit road entry perhaps. Brandon looking to that inside of William Byron, trying to get the pull, but we are going to come down pit road this time, both he and I. It's going to be 4,000 in 2nd gear, and William Byron does not pit, and he leads everyone else down. I see Kevin Harvick there, and they look pretty slow up there, up top, way out there, but screaming into turn 1 at 200 miles an hour. We're going to be in pit stall 2. Brandon qualified on the pole. He'll be in stall number 1. We can see the 15 and the 00 drive by there. That is the last cars on the lead lap. Right side tires only, boys. Let's go. Right sides are on. Turning the wheel, dropping the clutch. And did Brandon go for 4? Yes, Brandon's left sides are up, so Brandon with a 4-tire stop. That may be a winning move depending on what the AI does. We're going to be really loose on 2 tires. I've got about a quarter wear on the left tires already, so the lefts are not going to be as strong as they were on the initial start. Overall, a fast exit, though. That's the leader, William Byron, putting us 1 lap down. Unfortunately, no lucky dog if the caution were to come out, since we are the first car 1 lap down here, and we have to be extremely careful as they come down pit road. If they want the bottom, they will take the bottom whether you're there or not. So coming around the pit exit or entrance on 3 and 4, we're going to give these guys the low line and make sure that we can pass them on the outside whenever they come down to pit road. We'll get under Kenseth here, and Kyle tried to get under Kevin Harvick. We'll see if we can carry this speed to the outside of Kyle Busch here. Can't quite get the power down, but we can do the crossover here if we wanted to. We'll give him a shot down the straightaway. We don't want to get to his inside. If he's coming to pit road this time, he would get to the bottom and just drive straight through us. So we'll stick to this outer groove, carry this speed down, see if there are any takers coming to pit road. No, I don't see anyone coming down to pit road this time, so we're free and clear. They may pit next time by. We'll get the pull off of Harvick, and we are screaming down into turn 1, almost on the chip. We can cross up Kyle here if we can complete the pass on turn 2. We'll just drive to the outside here. He really slowed up in the middle of the corner, could not get the power down, and we're going to give these guys a wide berth as they might come this time. So we'll shoot toward the third groove here around Kevin Harvick. It looks like William Byron is looking to pit. Harvick is giving him space. And we got a fender on Harvick. He tries to get us out to the wall and completes that pass, and we will be on the lead lap as of now. So if we can drive away and the caution comes out, we will be on the lead lap and we can stay out. Unfortunately, that may put us in the middle of the pack as about half the cars have probably pitted at this point. We'll be looking for Kevin Harvick to come down this time and looking in the mirror for Brandon to see if those 4 tires are bringing him forward or what kind of speed he is making with 4 tires. Looking in the mirror here for anyone coming down pit road. There they go. And looking on the track, I don't see any car that stayed out, so Brandon is quite a bit back. I can't see him in the mirror. Jimmy and Denny having a disagreement down there on the apron. That could have been big if they got together. And there is passing William Byron for position once more. That kind of looked like maybe a 4-tire set, because there is no way that we gained that much speed on William Byron if he only took 2. So Brandon may be in the catbird seat here if the AI decide to take all 4 tires, all of them. He should be okay. However, if anybody has taken 2 tires, that's going to be cause for alarm. We're going to get around these guys here. Newman, we have Dylan and Chase Elliott looking down to the inside. Looks like the 47 of Stenhouse and the 10 of Almirola. And these guys probably did take 2 as they're coming out, and I haven't seen these guys all race, but this is for position right here. So those guys definitely took 2 tires, and Kevin Harvick and Kyle Busch had a really good pit stop and entry and exit as we are running in 3rd right now when we come by the line. So this is for position for the lead. So running in 3rd, trying to track down Kyle and Kevin. We've got that good pull down the straightaway, almost on the chip, 9,000 RPM going into turn 1. Let's try not to overdrive it as our left sides are not as good, but these guys' left side aren't as good either. Taking 2 tires, we'll get the good run off of turn 2 under Kyle Busch. Outstanding. Maybe we can get Kevin Harvick on the outside of turn 3 and 4 like we did coming to pit road. We'll look. He moves up to block. We'll take the bottom. And we'll see if he got the drive off of turn 4 like we did. Right to the white line. We'll pass him right before the line. We'll lead that lap. And if we can get through turns 1 and 2 swimmingly and put a gap on Kevin Harvick, we'll be okay. 4th place is just now in the middle of turns 1 and 2. 5th place following. Really pushed up there. That's not good for speed. Kevin might get a pull down this straightaway here. So the race is not over by any stretch of the imagination. 1 slip and Kevin Harvick and Kyle Busch are there to capitalize. But it looks like 4th and 5th place are dropping back, and I don't know if either one of those are Brandon or not. So white flag, 1 lap to go. We just have 2 miles to bring it back around. A very quick race. 20 laps at Michigan under green conditions, click by quick. And that's what I like to see right there. Kyle Busch and Kevin Harvick side by side for 2nd. That's going to slow up their exit really well. We'll get to carry all that speed down, and they are just dots in the mirror now. So with a clean 3 and 4 entry and exit, we will be able to take our 7th win of the year. And all well and good, nothing for him. It looked like Kyle did make that pass for 2nd. But coming across the line, checkered flag is out. We will take win number 7 in the series. Whew. That was a quick one. 2nd place, Kyle Busch. 3rd place, Kevin Harvick. 4th place, Eric Almirola. 5th place, Ricky Stenhouse Jr. 6th place, William Byron. 7th place, Denny Hamlin. 8th place, Jimmy Johnson. 9th place, Joey Logano. And rounding out your top 10 is Chase Elliott, and there is 11th and 12th. Poor Brandon didn't get a top 10. The 4-tire strategy was not the call this race, unfortunately for him. So let's take a look at it when Brandon got 3 wide here with Kyle and William Byron. Kyle almost doored him going into turn 1. That was no good. And then right here, they choked up. Brandon had to take an evasive maneuver right there, got into the 24 a bit. He washed up the track, and that allowed the 42 and the 11 to get by, and he was almost swallowed up by Bowman, lost a ton of speed, and unfortunately not the race that Brandon was hoping for this week. So let's take a look at the standings after Michigan. That was our 7th win of the year. Brandon at 4, Harvick, Kyle Busch, William Byron, and Clint Boyer with 1 apiece. Austin Dillon is your cutoff driver. Only 14 points separates 13th through 17th. Eric Jones outside looking in, and Keselowski almost 1 race behind. Johnson almost 1 race to the good. So the real racing between 13th and 18th, and we go to a big question mark next week, literally and figuratively, as we head to the left and right turns of Sonoma / Sears Point / Infineon / Carousel next week. But that will do it for me. Like, share, and subscribe if you are so bold. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we will see you next week for Sonoma. Take care.